What is good, guys? M.V.K here back. Welcome back to Indie. I ain't talking about Indiana Jones. Indie Showcase. I don't know where that high-pitched voice came, but Indie Showcase, guys. Once again, Indie Showcase, as you all know, is where I, your host, M.V.K, review comics from independent companies, from the highest indie book companies to the lowest, to the medium, to the lowest, and all around, and even the smallest ones, including books from indie companies that I help kickstart. So I got a lot, and I've been going through a slew of reviews as of late. But we are going in the world of Image Comics, and this will be the first time I'm actually reviewing from this world. And it's not that I haven't been reading from this world or keeping up with what's going on, but we're going to be looking from the world of Spawn. Yeah, Todd McFarlane's beloved character. And we're looking at the first volume of Gunslinger Spawn. Todd McFarlane, Brent Booth does the artwork in this. And yeah, first of all, the cover, look at that cover, is badass. And all the images. Look, you even got the haunt back there. Look at that, that's great. I'd love to see the haunt come back. But what is this Gunslinger Spawn? Well, first of all, let me get this right out the way. This book is only $10. I love that Image does that. I think for the first volume of every trade they put out, it's only $9.99. Is it worth $9.99? Yes, it is. So, Gunslinger Spawn is a Hellspawn. He is a Hellspawn. But he's from the 19th century. Yeah, 19th century. 1832, 1852, I think, one of those. He's from the 19th century. And he's like any he's a Hellspawn, soul to soul. But what makes him a lot different than, let's say, Al Simmons. And I have to get this out right out the way real quick. He is the weakest Hellspawn ever. That right there, I gotta put the book down for a second. That right there caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, the weakest. It is acknowledged in this book that Al Simmons is the most powerful Hellspawn ever. Ever. And I can probably agree with that. But here he is, and he calls himself Gunslinger. We don't know we do get some of his backstory. We do know he is of Hispanic descent, and he's gone from the high plains of Wyoming all the way down to Yuma, Arizona. He's kind of like a bounty hunter, and they know him for being very savage. Like he's always prepared for a fight, a gunfight, whatever. He will bring a knife to a gunfight, and he'll keep him under his tall hat right here to anywhere. Like he keeps him everywhere. But he is not in the past. This is not we're not seeing a Spawn from the past. Technically, like it takes place in the past. It's not a period piece. He's in the present. He was flung into the present because of Al Simmons, in a sense. And this is where if you're not keeping up what's going on with Al and currently in Spawn, then you may be a little bit confused, a little bit. They do give enough backstory to understand what happened. I'm not going to ruin that for you. But he is just trying to get back home. He wants to get back to his time. And I'll show a little bit of it because it's really funny. Here he is. He pulls up and he's on a motorcycle. He's not really know about him more. He's like, man, with this stupid contraption, why doesn't it work now? I'd be better off if I had a horse. And he pulls up and he's just like, what the hell, like, and he is introduced. He's introduced to a boy named Taylor. His name is Bartlett, Taylor Bartlett. And he's like, son, what's your name? And he's like, you know how to fix this contraption? He's like, it's out of gas, that's all. And then that's where Taylor's whole experience gets thrown into whack. Now, we also see in this that outside of that, there's a meeting between a group of, I guess you could say there's a group of angels and other, it even says it right here. It even says, a meeting dedicated to those that ruled the earth hundreds of millions of years ago. Also, it serves as a reminder of all those that have been there since the beginning and now long struggle to exist. And you got angels and even Nephilians, half angels. They're all here because you got to remember, in the Spawn universe, they may be angels, but they're not as clean cut, as good as you make it out. They make it, they're angels, so they must be good. It's not like that. Heaven and hell, they're both a shade of gray. It's crazy, but it's actually cool. And they're all talking about Gunslinger Spawn. So Taylor is helping Gunslinger, with things like, hey, so where are you trying to get to, everything like that. He's like, well, here's the map, you can read it. And we know Gunslinger can't read, and he's just like, and Taylor's like, you can't read, can you? And he's like, yeah, and things like this. So it's a little, and you would expect that, somebody from the 1800s, not everybody knew how to read. So yeah, it's really good. It was really interesting. And you're seeing Gunslinger, how he fights. He doesn't really use his necroplastic powers the way, Al uses them. Most of it is put into his weapons. So his guns, his 6-shooters, his knives. And we're seeing that even when he's fighting angels, like he's shooting them and he's like, here, he's telling Taylor, like, yeah, well, you can't kill them normally. You gotta put a bullet in their head when he just shoots them and things like that. He is fierce. He is fierce, and you're like, Jesus Christ, But and it goes from there, and we see, there's even one point where they're driving. They stop at a market, and he's getting food and maps and stuff like that, and the microwave goes off, bing, and he's like, God damn it, Taylor, I told you about what the fuck, and like almost like, I told you I'll shoot you right now if you try to play me, And he's like, it's the it's just the microwave. Our burritos are done. It's really funny. It's just like he is so on edge. He don't trust. He reminds me. I wouldn't be surprised if McFarlane got a little bit of this character from Stone Cold Steve Austin, DTA. Don't trust him, because he is always on edge. Like he's like always like, I don't trust nobody. Like and by the time we get to he's dealing with a woman who seems to we even see when before I get to that, Taylor is introduced more. We go into more detail about Taylor and his father, and his father's like half or part of half angel, or he's 1/4 angel or something like that, and he's working for the angels, and he's not a good dad. He's not a really good dad, and Taylor watches his dad. I won't spoil something that happens with his dad, but I guess you can figure out what happens. We are introduced to another individual that Gunslinger has to face, and and her name, I'm trying to remember her name. What is her name? I'm forgetting her name. What the freak is her name? What is her name? I can't remember her name. I know they say her name. They say her name. Don't they? I can't remember. They do say her name. I forget her name, but she has these. She has these individuals like. I'm telling you, they say her name. I know they say her name. I can't. Cyrus, I believe that's her name. Yeah, it's Cyrus. Her name is Cyrus, and she has like these prehistoric dinosaur like prehistoric animals that are like her. They kind of like her filmins, or familiars, and they're really strong, and even he's Gunslinger shooting him with his necro bullet, and it's not doing a damn thing. And it's behold, pretty much who comes to save him. I cannot spoil that because that threw me for a trip. I'm like, whoa! I thought he died. I'll spoil that. It is a male, but this character has been upgraded to the fullest, and I'm not gonna spoil what it is. But I love how Gunslinger is able to deal with him afterwards, because he's talking about, I'll help you if you help me. Gunslinger don't trust nobody. But he does know he still needs to get to Al Simmons. But that's the whole thing. It is about him getting to Al to maybe help him get back to the past. The last issue in this, because this captures issue 1 through 6. The last issue kind of goes into detail why he is the weakest Hellspawn. Not gonna spoil that, but when I saw that, I was like, okay, I can understand that. But outside of that, this was a really good series, really good. I'm really enjoying this. McFarlane, he knows what he's doing with this universe. This is his baby. And yeah, there have been a few people that have come along to, put their little niches, their grain of little salt in that. But outside of that, the Spawn universe is McFarlane's world. You're not really going to see somebody really take over and do without his consent, or like, well, no, this is me. I can understand that. This is his baby. I love Brent Booth. I like his artwork, and it works. Brent Booth's artwork works well in the Spawn universe. Like I said, it's really good. Like look at that art. I can't show too much because it's like really gory. But yeah, this is just a really good series. If you are a fan of the Spawn universe, pick up Gunslinger Spawn. This was really good. This really brings an understanding to Gunslinger as well as to the Spawn universe. This was really good, very much indeed. Well, guys, there you go. Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn, that is. Hope you guys enjoyed that little review of the first volume of Gunslinger Spawn. I can't wait to the next volume, which will probably be issue 7 to 12. I'll be looking forward to reading that because I'm gonna keep this going with Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn. It was great. I enjoyed it. I'm looking more forward to seeing, will he get to Al? And will Al help him or will not help him? Will he be stuck in the present to not get into the past. The biggest shock for me is just that he's the weakest Spawn. Like I said, that certain character spoiled that real quick, and even compared, I can't spoil who this character is because it would ruin it for you guys if you don't know who it is. But if you're a Spawn fan, check it out. I do recommend it, guys. With that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this review. What is next in Indie Showcase? Well, I'm gonna start showing off. There's some new books that I have finished. Reading, and I'm gonna review. Next, coming up for Indie Showcase, we're gonna be reviewing Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels' Nocterra. This is the first volume. I have both, but I only finished volume 1. I enjoyed that. I'm also gonna be reviewing a book that I helped kickstart. The first volume of Radical Vision's Lady Dark. So that's gonna be coming up. Also, Keyframe Comics by Chris Thomas Ma. Base Force versus Treble Fury. This is another book that I helped kickstart. So those are some of the books that I will review. I'll start doing that, especially on Indie Showcase, guys, showing you some of the indie books that I will be reviewing. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys next time. Deuces.